Miss Rita to the rescue here on Monday, a very cold Monday, I think across the nation, really. Um, oh, wait, and I got a commercial. I got a commercial even on, I got a commercial. Oh, well. Hi everyone. Good morning. Still quite a few people logging in, even though I know it's a federal holiday, Martin Luther King, honoring Martin Luther King Jr.'s contributions to our American laws and culture. And really amazing man, worth studying, worth finding out some of the things he said, even more than I had a dream. He had written quite a bit, and was a preacher, a reverend. He was Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. And so his speeches always sounded like beautiful, beautiful sermons. Anyway, we're going to be doing some things for Black History Month. So that's why I decided to do this today. Today, we're going to be working with some, I would say, beloved images from a company called Miss Kate Cuttables. You may have found them in your pursuit of all things free for SVG, because they do have quite a few freebies. It's listed under Miss Kate Cuttables. There's no apostrophe S. So it's Miss Kate Cuttables that you want to check. So they have a lot of freebies. They do a freebie of the week. They do bundles of freebies, and they're all up here on their left-hand navigation. So you can go there, or you can even go dollar store, or you can look by type that it is. So let's go to Valentine's Day, just so that you can see. And there's quite a few, and they're reasonably priced, $1. They don't go on sale very much, but they're that I know of. I have not seen them go on sale too often, but they're really cute and they're cutesy. And what I found out is a lot of them, the ones that are in the freebies, are also in Cricut Design Space. So that happened a few years ago, where I don't know if they just bought the rights to or something of these images from Miss Kate, or she shared. I don't know how that works, but anyway, and they're beautiful, but they are extremely layered. So some of the images end up being 6, 7, 8 layers, and some of them are just 6, 7, 8 different colors of the layers. It's very interesting. Well, I'm going to show you where to find them, and what I decided to do about them. I decided to turn them into print then cut images, and then I'm going to finish up my project with using my scoreboard and cutting out from some 8.5 by 11 inch paper from Michael's. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's see. So the first thing to talk about is where to find these Miss Kate images, and there's quite a few of them. So what I would do is, when you start on a blank screen or whatever, we don't even have to, let's just save this. And I have made this this particular version of my files available, so you can come and pick it up at the Cricut Community Center. You can look me up under Miss Rita to the rescue in there. And also, while I'm talking, this is just to remind you that if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. It's growing, and I'm so glad of that. I'm glad that I can be helpful to others, and share some of my creative ideas with you. So anyway, so let's go to images and have a look for these Miss Kate images. No, you've already had several cookies this morning. You've already had several. Go lay down now, please. No more. Okay, so we're going to go to image sets. It's my favorite place to look at images. What can I say? I'm an OG Cricketer, and that's how I look those things up. No, you may not have another cookie. All right, and when I get up here in the search box, I'm going to type in Miss Kate. Or I suppose I could just type in Kate, but I think there's actually one cartridge that had something like Miss Kate's Nursery or something like that, or maybe it wasn't Kate, Miss Kate, it was something. Anyway, you can see here on the left hand side that there are all of these sets of images. There's Halloween, spring, summer, Christmas gifting, winter, Easter, Valentines, lots of Christmas, also other things like outdoor camping type of things, phrases. We've used those in the past as well. But we're going to be looking for something called love. I think it's love words or love note. Love letters. I was wrong on both parts. So we're going to be looking for this one. It's called Miss Kate Cuttables Love Letters, says 50 images. So we're going to click on that. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see the same image, but used in a different way. So some of these are print and cut images. Some of them are cut images. And so what you have to do is to assess what it is that you want here. So here, let's see, I love this Will You Be Mine. So I'm going to select that one. But it also exists, let me just make sure before I say about anything. There's the Valentine. Will you please? All right, let's just grab a couple of these. I Choose You and Happy Valentine's Day, because they come off. Oh my goodness, are you a pest today? All right, so when they come in fairly big. Yeah. And because they're meant to be cut out largely for, I think, for scrapbooking. That's what I think it's meant, these kinds of images are meant for. If you go too small, if you're going too small on the images, you'll be driving yourself crazy with all of the layers. So for me, I'm not that fastidious about my cutting, and I think I would probably go a little nuts with all these little I don't know, accent points as well. So what I chose to do with these images, which I absolutely adore, is I chose to first make sure that they had a good enough overlay or offset. So here's an example. Let's just use this one here. I Choose You. Okay, so this is on the right hand side is what it looks like flattened with an offset layer. If you were to flatten it without an offset layer, you would cause a little bit of issue with, like, say, this heart, because it won't be attached to the original sticker. I'm thinking in terms of stickers, right? So what I would like to do is to take that and highlight it and come up here to offset. All right. And the system is going to automatically give you an offset of 1/4 of an inch. And it's going to be curved, and it's going to weld the offset. So let's try that. So we're going to hit apply. Now you can see here it's a black background. You can change that background, by the way, to any color you want. So I could just go over here and change it to, say, white if I wanted to. It's not going to show up too well. Wait, where? There we go. It's not going to look as good. So I'm going to keep the black. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I am going to flatten it. Now flattening, we've been sort of doing a little bit of that when we were working on some print then cut from last week. So this is like extreme flattening, because if you can see here, there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 layers here that we're going to flatten and make into just one layer. Okay. And actually look over here to the right. It's more than 7 layers, because look, it's got all of these separate pieces as separate, and they probably all have different colors assigned to them, so they're not going to be this would be a nightmare to cut out, is basically what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down over here at the bottom next to attach, and I'm going to do flatten. Okay, and that's how I get that look to my image. So see that all I did was make sure that it had an offset layer. So in this one here, we're going to add an offset of 1/4 or 1/2 inch, and then we're going to go ahead and flatten this one. So what that does for us is, I'm going to just skip ahead a couple steps, is you're going to end up with these images, right? Now they are a little bit too big, because I figured I wanted to make classroom, like just no fold, no envelope, just something you can scrawl with a Sharpie on the back to and from, classroom, that are better than those little boxes that they give you every year, or that you have to buy for ridiculous amounts of money, and they're tiny. So this is what I was thinking. So I went ahead and I found a number of, let's see, we can see. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So a number of these, and I've put them together so that they'll all cut out onto a print then cut. This is the part where I'm skipping a number of steps about the print then cut. But when you get it to the place where it's ready to cut, we're going to stop, and I'll show you how that works out. Okay, so we're going to hit continue. Now I'm using Michael's cardstock in 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So to make approximately 2, 4, 6, a dozen of these, you need 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 inch paper, and you can do it with white or shimmer. I did do the shimmer. I didn't care for it myself, but this is where I would go ahead and hit the print button. But I don't need to print, because I already printed them out tonight for this show. Excuse me, I've printed them out for this show, and I want to show you how these cut out. Again, I'm using 8.5 by 11 inch paper. No, I'm using paper. It's actually cardstock. This is what I'm using. White 65 pound, 8.5 by 11 from Recollections, which is a Michael's brand. You can often find this on sale, not as great as it used to be as far as prices go, but they're starting to come out with a lot of these just single colors, white, black, red. And so this is what I'm printing on, and it goes through my printer fairly well. And then I'm going to use some other paper. While I'm talking, I'm going to get this on here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to choose this one. I've already printed. And I'm going to choose medium cardstock. And I'm going to click off remember. So I have this on my mat, and I'm going to make sure it's on there really well. And you'll notice when I'm talking, you'll notice how the machine is moving around and cutting out these pieces. At this point, this is when we stop doing Cricut crafting and we start doing the OG crafting. And I want to show you a couple of tricks with that coming up so that you could make these adorable. Let me show you these adorable. I'll hit go on this. So there's one with Be Mine, and it has an acetate sheet. This one has just the hearts. It's cute. This one uses this pink foil, and this one's just a plain striped one. And so what I've done is I've cut up from 8.5 by 11 inch sheets. So I need, a few sheets of 8.5 by 11 inch in whatever color you like. I'm choosing red. And then I need all my cutouts from my crafting, my Cricut crafting. And then I get these all the time, these cute 6 by 6 inch papers, because they're adorable, and I never use them, so I decided I was going to use them for this craft. Okay, so we're waiting for those to cut, and then we'll come down here and we'll put them together. So the first thing that we need is a couple of sheets of that 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to use red. So there's my red. Let me move all this out of the way. Okay, we're going to also need some of these adhesive foam, double-sided adhesive foam dots. They come in different sizes and widths. Today I have some from scrapbook.com, and these were some really cheapo ones that I bought on Amazon. I prefer this scrapbook.com. It's a little sturdier. And this one is old school. It's like 1/4 of an inch. I wish I could find them all in 1/4 of an inch, because I don't like that 1/8 of an inch. It's too small. All right, and then here you go. Here are our cutouts. And remember, these are not on sticker paper. So let's grab those off of my... There we go. So we have a pile of these cutouts, and we have this deck of paper pad, I should say, this paper pad that has all these really cool and fun papers. You can see a couple of them. So let's take a couple of those out, like this one. Ooh, I love these acetate ones. Let's work on that, because those are kind of fun. And so from each of these, we're going to get one. Oh, here's another acetate, but stripes. And let's choose a foil one too. All right. So now nobody can say, Rita, you bought these, you buy these all the time and you never use them. Nope, I'm using them. See there? I don't know if you get any grief about that, but I get grief sometimes. And then here we go. Here's our 8.5 by 11 inch paper. Let's cut that first. So we have our fancy papers. We have our actual Valentine. Some tape. And now we have the 8.5 by 11 inch. So I'm going to get out. This is one of those combination cutting and scoring boards. I think I showed you this last year. It's very easy to work, especially if you have any kind of impairments, like things you can't raise or whatever, you get pain in your wrists or your hands. This is a nice product for you. I forget who it's by. It looks like it's by We Are Memory Keepers. Anyway, it opens up this way. You can also turn it around upside down and close this so that way it stays stiff as a board. Stiff as a board, light as a feather. Okay. Now we're going to take the 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper and we're going to cut it in half, exactly in half. So half of 8.5 by 11 is going to be 8.5. And we're going to cut from here, okay? So 8.5 by 11 is 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches times 2, 11. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and lay it on the 5.5 inch mark. And this is that easy to hold mat. So there you go. I've got two, hopefully perfect size. Nope. They're not perfect size. Not really sure why that did that. So let me just make sure I get this. So 5.5. Yep, that one's fine. And why would this one be fine? Not fine. Oh, maybe my paper is slightly bigger than the 11 inch. But it appears that there's a little extra left here, and I'm going to ruin this. You know, I should have just used it as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down a little bit. There we go. We'll cut it down just a little bit. Put that into our waste paper. All right, now that we have the two sheets or the two bits here, so I'm going to do that again. 5.5. Okay. Maybe I just didn't measure it right. Okay. So now that, yep, that worked. It's because I just didn't measure it right. All right. So now we're going to take these two sheets from one 8.5 by 11 and we're going to cut them in half again, which now we're going to be doing it from this end. So we're going to be cutting it in half. This is going to be, so this is, let's just show you that. So this is 8.5 inches long, and this is now 5.5 inches wide. Long, wide. Okay. We're going to cut this part in half to make 4 equally sized, or thereabouts, pieces that are going to be our classroom Valentines. So let's just go ahead and cut these in half. And they don't have to be perfect, of course. They don't have to be perfect. That's the whole wabi-sabi thing. Whoops. Didn't cut all the way through on that one. All right. Now let's take the picture. Let's take the paper that I want to use as part of my Valentine. And I did myself a little cheat sheet around here so that you could see what I'm talking about. So basically what we just went through was we took an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. We cut it in 2 lengthwise and then again in widthwise. So we ended up with 2 strips of 5.5 by 4.25, or 4 cards when cut in half. All right, so this is the size approximate of this. all right, is 5.5 by 4.25. And I can show you that right here. So that's the 4.25. Because remember, I'm starting it at 1, okay, and then the other one here is 5.5, okay. So if we want to do a frame or a mat with our fancy paper, first we have to cut it down so that it's going to fit onto the back here, but we're going to leave a little margin around it of about 1/4 of an inch. So we have to then turn this piece of paper, which has got a hole cut, and then we're going to turn it 1 turn, and then we're going to choose 4. All right, so there's my first one. Let's cut a couple of them. So again, we're going to take this part off. That is the hang tag. And we're going to cut it, and keep your scraps. We're going to cut it again at 5.25 by 4. So this is the 4. And 5.25. All right. So now we have everything all set up, and we're ready to go ahead and make our classroom Valentines. Now, if you're doing this with a little, honestly, I would suggest you get your little piles together first, depending on how advanced the little is. If the little's still really little, then they're just going to want to stick things on other things. So, which is fine. Stick things on other things. So here we've got a couple ready to make, and then we'll pick out which one we like. Now, as I mentioned before, I used shimmer paper once because I wanted to see how it would look, and it looks really cute, but I'm going to do mine. I'm going to do these in Be My Valentine. I like that one too. Oh, I like this one, Sweet on You. Okay, so I only need 2, but I already chose 3. So let's choose these 2, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do, and this is important, especially if you're going to be using these fancy kind of papers, is where we have to get these stuck on here. And how do we do it? Now, normally we use glue, but because this is a see-through, and because gold, using glue immediately starts to show through on the other side. That's why I will use this double-sided adhesive tape. I'm just going to put it right there. Now, it comes a little bit thinner than this size, which I do have, but I think this should be okay. It's not like there's going to be a whole lot of focus on that. All right, so there's one. And if you need to, go ahead and use your little scissors to trim it up. All right, and then grab yourself a weeding tool. And lift this up. All right. Okay. So on all 4 sides, and it's going to be sticky with your hands. So I know some people don't like that sticky feeling. The worst feeling for me in the world, the most annoying, I should say, not the worst, but the most annoying is when your feet get stuck on a floor, like because it's sticky. That's like pretty annoying for me. Okay, so there is our piece. We're going to cut it. We're going to place it on there. I gave it a little bit of extra room. Now, if that really bothers you, that look, which you can press down a little bit like this, so it doesn't look as looky-loo. You wouldn't have had to use all of that if you wanted to really make it small, but I like my pieces to really stick. So by pressing on here, it kind of takes away some of that, just like when you press on tape, right? And then we've got my double stick foam dots. So let's do this, Sweet on You. So we're going to turn this around, grab a few foam dots. Whoop, it's not, that one didn't work. How do you like that? This is definitely the thickest double stick tape. Now, if you wanted to, and you're a frugal person, which I am, you can also use the pieces around it, that where the little holes were, which is what I'm going to do here. And take that little piece here and push it here. Okay. I gotta feed my guinea pigs because today is a holiday, meaning my mother, she woke up and I sent her back to bed. And now I can hear them weeking, looking for their food. They're trained just like we are to know what time. All right, here's our like that. And then, you know, if you're doing it with a little, grab yourself, let me see, I'll grab pencil. Where's my pencil? You know, to Joey from Rita. Love you. And they don't have to be for classroom. I mean, I just think they're kind of cute, and they'd be good to just sort of hang somewhere after you've received them. I don't know. That's just a thought process. So why don't we keep going? I'll show you this gold one as well. As I mentioned before, the gold is really pretty, but gold and foil are difficult together. I'm sorry, foil and glue, I should say, are difficult because, first of all, if you put it on the wrong side, the back side, which is what we normally do, you run the risk of getting some of it on to the gold, which is very difficult for it to come off. But if you use double stick tape, second idea on that point is if you use glue on the back side, it warps the I don't know why, it just warps it very quickly, and you can see it behind your cutout, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I used regular glue behind this one, and you can actually see, I don't know if you can see it through the thing, but I put the glue here, here, and here, and their spots came through from the back. So that's why I would suggest trying always to use like a dry tape or very, very, very little glue. Okay. So let's put this one here. And so for tomorrow, I have a CT scan, a long CT scan, in the morning. So I won't be doing a class on Tuesday, but I'll be back on Wednesday. And let's see, I was thinking, you know, I get on different tangents, but I was thinking about, we haven't done an Anna Griffin card in a while, and I have a really pretty one that's a snowflake. It's not the snowflake we've done before. It's a different snowflake that I think will be real pretty as either a thank you or sort of a appreciate you or checking in after the holidays. I don't know, something like that. And this one says, you brighten my day. And we should use that because it also has the sparkles. All right. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Okay. I won't be here on Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. I was thinking about doing an Anna Griffin, and I have one. So I think that's the one I'm going to show you on Wednesday. It's not a Valentine. It's just a very pretty snowflake square card from Anna Griffin, our Anna Griffin collection on Design Space. Then at the end of the week, I want to do, I wanted to pop over to some of the designers that we like so much. One being Dreaming Tree, the other one being SVG Cuts, and the other one Lori Whitlock, probably in that order, right? And there's some really adorable files on SVG Cuts that I keep meaning to do. I think one's called Crush on You box cards, and there's all these really cute box cards from SVG Cuts that I want to do. I just love her box cards. All right, then we're all set. So that is, wow, I did pretty good this morning. That is the whole project. It's easy, cute, and fun. So it's something that you might have this paper at home and think, yeah, I can cut this paper. I mean, all you need is the ability to cut it in half. And if you couldn't cut it in half using a cutter, which is the best, obviously, you could, cut it and use some sort of deckle edge scissors. So a lot of people have deckle edge. So if you cut it in half and you're not happy with where that half led up to, deckle edge scissors are ones that leave kind of like a different kind of deckle or edging, I should say, edging. Or you can try to do it by eye, which I'm trying to do right now, and didn't quite come out that way. But either way, whatever way you do it, I think it's a lot of fun to make Valentines, even if you are 65 and don't have any kids around. It's still fun to do little things to just acknowledge that you love somebody, even if it's just a little cutesy. That's what I found, like, my folks always ended up doing was like cutesy Valentines to each other, not the really serious, which there's a time and a place for all of those. So I think if you've been married for a while, it's okay to give your hubby or whatever a Be My Valentine, right? All right. I think that's going to do it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. Again, I won't see you tomorrow. And if I can get ahead on the project for for Wednesday, I will post the project. This is really pretty, and you might want to make more than one because they're square shaped. So like a thank you card or something, you know, post holiday card that you might really, really like. So we'll see you again on a witch box cards. I'll also let you know what they're called, but there are some beautiful box cards on SVG cuts, and they're all different things, but they're all like really girly or punny kind of a thing. Really cute little box cards. So I'll show you which ones they are. All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. And we will see you again on Wednesday. Hope you have a wonderful day off. If you do. And now I can see my mother. We're just waking up now. So I won't have to go rescue my piggies. She'll feed them right away. All right, you guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Bye bye.